Um, okay. I'm not even sure how to start this video because the last time I did a video, which was in December 2021, I did the whole I'm back, I've missed you guys. I can't wait to start putting out content. I have 5 videos for the month of December, yada yada yada, and then poof, I just disappeared into thin air. I promise that wasn't intentional, right? My health was just this way, like towards the end of last year and at the beginning of this year. But I am better, so I am here, and there's no other way to say this but to say I'm back, and I'm happy to be back. If this is the first time you are on my channel, welcome. My name is Uchechi, and I'm a digital marketing consultant and content creator. In today's YouTube video, I'm going to be reviewing my 2021 vision board. Now, I know this may sound late because I'm currently recording this in the last week of March, right? So it's like, oh, we've already gone January, February, March, and we're about to enter the new month, April. 2022 has gone far. Q1 has ended or has almost ended. Yes, I'm aware of all of that. But seeing as my year just started on YouTube here, it feels appropriate for me to do that, right? Because I want to do a 2022 vision board, and I can't do that without looking at what happened last year, right? I think this is also like sort of timely because we're about to enter Q2. So it's like, okay, Q1 was for practice for some of you. Q1 was for practice, and then Q2 the grind starts and all of that. So I think this is timely. Again, or additionally, if you joined me in creating the vision board last year and haven't reviewed this, I hope this serves as a reminder for you to review that because you can only plan for the future after you review the past. Mm-mm. Inspire to perspire to Maguire. Okay, yes. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and that's my vision board right there. Now it's hanging weirdly, right? Because apparently when I was doing creating the board in 2021, I didn't take note of where the hooks were placed. So they're supposed to be hung like that, but I did it in portrait mode. I don't know. I always mistake like vertical and horizontal. I'm not sure. I think this is vertical and this is horizontal. You guys, I don't even know. But portrait landscape, right? So I did it this way when I should have done it that way. So if you can see the images, they look like weird. But I'm going to correct that when doing the 2022 vision board. So I'm just going to go through the images and just do a recap or sort of do a recap of my 2021. Okay, so as you can see, I have removed, that's the blank vision board there. So I have brought out all the images that were on the board, and I'm just going to go through one after the other, right? So the first I'm going to go through is, or the first I'm going to start with, oops, is this. Now, this was to signify, right, moving to a new place, right? So, as at the end of 2020, I felt like, you know what, I wanted to have my own space and I wanted to move out of my parents' house. So, this was to signify that. Now, this happened coincidentally where I'm sitting sort of looks like this, right? Where I'm sitting to film this video currently sort of looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see my background. Now, mind you, that when I was picking these images for my vision board or this image for my vision board, I had not been to this space, right? So it's not like I saw this space and then looked for a picture to match it. I had not been to this space. I had not seen it. I had not even met my husband then. But I was just looking at the vision board one day and I was like, you know what? This actually now looks like where I'm sitting, right? I have a video, not to worry, I have a video of how this space was set up, right? So I am going to upload that. That'll be the third video. So after this video, I'll have my 2022 vision board video. And then afterwards, I will now upload a video of how I put this space together. So yeah, did this happen? I believe it did. It did, right? So I got married not the way I planned or not the way I expected it to happen, but it happened. So instead of moving out, oh yeah, I moved out, but instead of moving out on my own and staying on my own, I got married and eventually moved out of my parents' house. So yeah, this was achieved. Now, this was to signify traveling in the year 2021. And I came this close, right? This one sort of pains me, but I mean, it's all for the best. Now, we got married in October, right? And ideally, the honeymoon should have been after the wedding. But I had this very smart plan of moving the honeymoon to December. Reason is my husband's office doesn't necessarily close for the holidays because of the sort of work that they do, right? So I mean, they'll get 25th and 26th of December off, and they'll get January 1st and 2nd off, right? But the office is pretty much still running. So in my mind, I'm like, if we're going for the honeymoon in October, then it means he'll need to apply for his leave or his vacation, right? In October, and we'll go, we'll have fun, we'll come back. But then because he has exhausted his leave days, right, in October, it means that he'll have to work through the holidays in December. And I didn't want that to happen at all. So I said, no, what, babe, can we move this honeymoon to December? So I just take your vacation and it clashes with Christmas and we have just like long holiday. And it was like, oh, fantastic. Let's do that. If you're down for it, I'm down for it. And I was like, okay, deal. So let's plan towards a honeymoon in December. And then later it occurred to me to, I don't know if I've ever voiced it out on this channel, but I would love to work with travel companies, right? So I would love to travel as part of my work or as part of my job. So I had an idea to reach out to a travel agency and they were happy to partner with me. So we're going to have a discounted honeymoon in exchange for content on Instagram. And it was going so well. We had agreed on how much discount we are going to get for our trip in total. So that's from flight to hotel to activities and all of that stuff, everything. And what was left was picking between two locations or two destinations. And my health just I almost cried. Like I was in denial for some weeks. So I kept having that conversation. And even when I was still ill, I was still hopeful that the trip would be able to happen. But unfortunately, I was so ill I couldn't even leave the house, not to talk of traveling. So that didn't happen. Yeah, so that's how this went. But I'm still in talks with the travel agency and hopefully we can, replan it for sometime this year and even more trips. I didn't even know that it was going to click. When I reached out to them, it was just to try my luck. And when it clicked, I was like, okay, I may be onto something here. So definitely going to bring this back in 2022 since it didn't happen in 2021. So it's going to stay on this side. So I'm keeping images of goals that I hit on this side and images of goals that I didn't hit and would want to bring back in 2022. And then images of goals that I didn't hit and do not want to bring back will be somewhere in the middle. And this is one of them. So I had this image of piercings. I don't know what I was thinking, right? I thought I'd be adventurous and have piercings. It was between having piercings and having a tattoo. But I mean, let's be honest, I'm not that kind of person. So first of all, I was concerned about aftercare for piercings. For piercings, I don't know what I just said. And secondly, like I said, I'm just not that kind of person, right? So if I think I'm just going to do away with this, right? It's not a pain. I don't think it's a thing of pain because somehow my pain threshold is a bit high, right? So it's just I was looking at it and I was like, is this really necessary? I can really do without it. So if I want to have like extra earrings or extra jewelry on my ears, and I can do like magnetic earrings and ear cuffs and all of that. So didn't hit this, not bringing it back in 2022. So this would be in the middle. Now, this is the image of a microphone, and it was to signify speaking at events, right? And I would love to say I hit that goal. Now, while I couldn't speak at physical events, I did start doing some things on virtual, right? So what I'm referring to is Clubhouse. So I became active on Clubhouse in 2021. I actually joined. Okay, I joined in 2021. So I became active on Clubhouse in 2021. Initially, I joined as just a listener. I wasn't contributing, none of that. Then I moved from a listener to becoming a speaker, and then moved from becoming a speaker to being a moderator, right? this speaker. So I moved from being in the audience to being on stage, right? To being to contributing to topics. And I moved from that to being a moderator. Then moved from moderating to being the host. I think I hosted like one or two sessions on Clubhouse. So I started from the Cool House, right? If you're on Clubhouse in Nigeria, Nigerian Clubhouse, you may be familiar with the Cool House. But there I was there as just a listener. Then I transitioned to the Champions Connect Club, owned by my very good friend Iberayo. And that's where I moved up and became a moderator and eventually hosted I think one or two sessions when he wasn't available. So I was happy I was able to hit this because this also affected other parts of my life. So when I sort of became more outspoken and just generally more vocal in both like my relationships and with people. So yes, this definitely helped, and I'm happy I put this on my vision board and I worked towards it. Now, this was a reminder for me to be happy in 2021. I believe I gave a backstory to this, and I think there's one other image or quote on my board that speaks to that same thing, that same backstory. So in 2020, I found myself comparing myself. I found myself comparing myself to other people that I didn't even know personally, right? But just mere seeing how they were doing on YouTube, how they were doing on Instagram. They were getting married, having kids, growing their channel, traveling to different countries. I just sort of felt sad, and I did a lot of crying in 2020 and even questioned God at different points in 2020, right? So I had this on my vision board to remind myself to be happy regardless of my situation or circumstances, right? And yes, it helped. So I wasn't as down. Of course, I still kept seeing posts from those people that made me feel a bit depressed, but I was able to handle it better after thinking about it. And I'm so sorry, you guys. After thinking about it and deciding that, you know what, I can't keep being in that mood. So, yes, definitely happy that this happened. Now, the next one, unfortunately, I wasn't able to achieve it or to hit it, which is having 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 public watch hours, and eventually getting monetized on YouTube. I mean, I wasn't even consistent here in 2021. So before the wedding, I took a break from content, I think both on Instagram, but I think I was still posting on Instagram, but not as regularly. I can't remember how that happened. But then YouTube like kind of went quiet. And then I came back in December. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. I have 5 videos for you in December. And then after that video, disappeared and took a break again. And this is March. So, I mean, it kind of adds up that I wasn't able to grow my subscribers as much as I wanted to or as much as I planned. However, I did have some growth, right? So even when I was offline here on YouTube, apparently people were also still subscribing to my channel, which I found a bit interesting and surprising. I thought I was going to lose followers, right? Because I had pumped you guys up, and I think I even kind of gave a hint on sort of content that I had ready and lined up for December, and then I just disappeared, So I felt people were going to drop off from the channel, but instead, I think I went from 300 and something to 400 and something. I'm not sure. I'll check the analytics and put the exact figures on the screen. But yes, this didn't happen. Definitely bringing it back in 2022 because I want YouTube to be a long term thing. So this is me, hands to chest and another hand up, pledging. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. To myself and to you as my subscriber that no matter how many times I have to, disappear due to circumstances beyond my control, I would come back. I'll make an effort to come back. Except, of course, I decide to quit YouTube totally, and that's a different story. But I'm going to keep coming back no matter how many times I, drop off. Um, so yeah, this is definitely coming back to my 2022 vision board. Now, I had this image also on my vision board for 2021, and it was a reminder of how fit I wanted to be. Did I achieve this? No. Now, if you know me, you know that Uche and working out are, sort of, I wouldn't say enemies, but we're, so far apart. But before the wedding, I was able to, like, I think, control my eating a bit. And then I fell ill within that period. So I lost some weight involuntarily. And so I tried to maintain that lost weight till my wedding. But then after the wedding, I don't know what happened. Now it wasn't very obvious because I wasn't dressing up every day to go out, but I knew within myself that I had put on some weight. So climbing the stairs, will have me panting, and then some of my outfits became tighter, and I was just like, girl, you need to start working out again. So no, I didn't achieve this. I didn't hit this. Um, I would want to bring this back. I want to say I'm bringing this back in 2022, but maybe not this exact image. Maybe something more realistic, and you find out more in subsequent videos. So I'm still going to keep this in the 2022 pile to remind me that being fit is still one of my goals for this year, but I'll change the image. Not just this one, I'm going to change these other images so it doesn't look like it's the same vision board, but it's still the same idea. So just keeping this here. Now, this is something I was very happy to achieve, which is working with brands with under 10K followers on Instagram. You guys, I hope this thing is still focused on my face. I'll be so sad if my face is out of focus and it's the background that is in focus. Lord God, please. I hope that is not the case, especially with all this that I'm doing. So, yeah, working with brands with under 10,000 followers on Instagram, on social media, was a challenge to myself, right? Because I had in 2020, I had spoken with someone, I talked about how I wanted to start working with brands and blah, 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 blah. And, I needed guidance on negotiation or even, what's the term now? Business development. So reaching out to brands to even start with, and talking about working with them and all of that. And he said he thinks I need to grow my Instagram first to have above 10,000 followers. And that kind of hurts me, right? Because I was like, does it mean I don't have any value to offer outside the number of followers that I have? So I had this on my board to challenge myself. And I actually did end up working with some brands in 2021. Now, not as many as I hoped to, but I mean, it was a start. And that has now motivated me to do more. So I've identified brands I want to work with. I have like a wish list kind of thing, and I've started reaching out to some brands. So hopefully, I'm able to work with more brands in 2022. So yes, this is going to the pile of goals that I hit for 2021. Now, this is okay. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure how many goals this was supposed to remind me to hit because I have a laptop here, which I presume is a MacBook Pro, and then an external hard drive, right? Now, in 2020, I struggled a lot with storage on both my hard drive and my laptop, and that's what brought about this image on my vision board. But somehow into 2021, I was able to sort that out, figure out what I was doing wrong, so I was able to sort out my storage issues, but I still decided to go ahead and get another external hard drive just to make my storage a bit tidier. So what I have done now is all of my client projects, my old YouTube videos are on the new hard drive, and I'm still using my existing one for editing. So the existing one is just to edit current videos. And then when they have gone live or have sent to the clients, I transfer to the other hard drive. So the other hard drive is like an archive, and then I have one that is actively in use, right? So, but for the laptop, I wasn't able to, and yeah, I wasn't able to do that. I'm not sure if I still want to get a laptop this year. My focus is more on getting like a camera, right? Which will lead me to my next goal. I'm not sure if I still want to get a laptop. My laptop I have right now, it's cute, it's small, it's compact. I don't want to move to a bigger screen. I don't know how that sounds, but I'm going to keep this under the pile of goals that I achieved in 2021. Then this is the picture of a camera. So in 2021, I said I wanted to be able to buy a camera, not just for YouTube, but for client projects, because I also do videos for clients that I work with, right? And I mean, creating videos with my phone is fantastic. I'm currently creating this YouTube video, and all of my YouTube videos have been with my phone. All of the content on my Instagram page have been with my phone. So I mean, it's fantastic quality that I'm getting from my phone. But I have some limitations. So there's a storage limitation. There's the fact that I can't film spontaneous content because I may have storage issues. I may be expecting important calls or messages, and I don't want to miss them and some other things, right? So I wanted a camera. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit this in 2021, but I recently entered into a competition for a Sony ZV-1 camera. The word on the streets of YouTube is that that's the best camera. It's a best beginner friendly camera for content creators, bloggers, YouTubers, all of that stuff, right? So I entered into the competition last week, and they're going to announce the winner on the 31st of March. So fingers crossed that I win. And if I do, then it means this is not making a comeback to my 2022 vision board. But if I do not win, then this will make a comeback to my 2022 vision board. So this is going to be in the pile of goals that I didn't hit for 2021. Now, this is image of an online course. I wanted to launch an online course in 2021. I had like 3 to 4 ideas for digital products, and one of them was like my smartphone photography online course. Now, I had launched this course in 2020, but it performed terribly. I believe I made just one sale, and that one sale was during the Black Friday offer. So that was even at like 50% off. But I knew I still wanted to do it because I had like a lot of request. So what I did was to go back to the drawing board to see what mistakes I made. I paid for some courses to learn how to run ads more effectively, paid for some other to learn how to like structure your online course and all of that. And then I relaunched in 2021. I'll be fair to myself, right? It performed better than it did in 2020, however, not as good. So I eventually had to discontinue it because I was spending more but not getting return on investment. But because I wasn't specific, right, on how the online course was going to drop, I'm going to put this I'm going to put this in the pile of goals that I achieved. Because did I launch an online course in 2021? Yes, I did. Now, these three, I'm bringing them together because they are tied together, right? So this is the image of a pile of cash, or how was it even described? And this was to signify, making money in my business in 2021 compared to 2020. This was for saving a certain amount of money by the end of 2021. And this was for going back to giving tithes in the church because I was better at it in 2020. Now, unfortunately, this influences this and this. It's just common sense, right? So if I'm not making enough money, then where am I going to save from? And how am I going to like give tithe? So in 2021, I didn't have like regular income coming in. So I actually started the year saving well based on my 2020 earnings, right? But because I wasn't having regular income, I started dipping my hands into my savings, and eventually just so 2021 financially wasn't very fantastic. I mean, I did earn some money because I mentioned I worked with, I think, 1 or 2 or 3 brands. So I mean, obviously I earned some money, but it wasn't regular. And the thing with income not being regular is that it tends to put you in a position where you feed from hand to mouth, right? Because the months where you earn, then it's fantastic. But the months where you don't earn, you are not relying on the income that you earned in the previous month or month, right? So that's how this happened. I'm going to bring all three back into my 2022 pile because they need to come back. Now, the final image, the rest are quotes. The final image is this. So I wanted to complete the restructuring of my company so that it can get operational and all of that. I started, right? I made some steps in 2021, but unfortunately, I sort of like got hooked somewhere in the middle or somewhere along the line. So I didn't complete it, and it's still not operational at the moment. I'm going to continue again this year. I decided to pause during the wedding because, I believe I would have, my name has changed because I've gotten married. So I need to do a change of name. So I need to do a change of name. And I believe that needs to reflect in the documentation for the company, same as address changes and all of that. So I'm going to restart this year and work towards a complete restructuring and get the company operational. It's a very important goal for me because I want to put structure to whatever it is I'm doing. So, YouTube content creation, I want everything to flow through the company, right? So that's going to go into the pile of things that are coming back in 2022. The last set of things are quotes, right? So this is trust the timing of your life. And this is tied, I mentioned this, right? In fact, trust the timing of your life and worry less. So trust the timing of your life, worry less are tied to this. Again, it's the same backstory. Comparing myself to people, thinking my life was going slowly than I wanted it to go, and just worrying a lot and thinking I wasn't doing enough. So these quotes were to motivate me, to remind me to chill a bit, right? Put in the work, but also do not be too hard on yourself. Now, this is either you run the day or the day runs you, and this was motivation for me to be productive. So even on days where I didn't feel my best or didn't feel like doing any sort of work, this was a reminder for me to get my butt up and do something. Now, and the last one is don't wish for it, work for it, which I believe just summarizes my entire vision board, right? Because it's one thing for me to create a vision board, a very beautiful looking vision board, and just hang it somewhere or drop it somewhere. And it's another thing for me to actually work towards achieving the goals that I have placed on that vision board. And I'm happy to say that I did this, right? So whether or not I hit everything, I actually put in the work to achieving the goals that I set for myself and placed on my 2021 vision board. But yeah, that's it for my 2021 vision board. So let me see how many did I hit. So one, two, three, four, five, six, and didn't achieve one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Yeah, so that's how we went. So I hit 6 goals and 9 goals I didn't hit or I hit like barely. But no shaking. Really. I'm still going to give myself a pat on the back for even like putting in the work and making efforts to even achieve the ones that I was able to achieve, and this will serve as motivation for me and even for you, right? So if you created a vision board in 2021 and you've either been too scared to review it because you didn't hit those any of those goals or you hit maybe very few, or you haven't even reviewed them at all and you've just gone straight into doing another one for 2022, then I hope that this reminds you to do a review of your 2021 vision board because, again, you can't plan for the future if you do not review the past. So, yeah, that's it for this video. Like I said, in my next video, I'll be building my 2022 vision board. So if you want to see me do that, if you want to see what my goals for the year look like, then make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel if you're not yet subscribed. And if you're subscribed and do not have notification turned on, then you want to do that so that you are notified anytime a new video goes live. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. I need to stop and go and drink water because the saliva in my mouth is almost finished. But yeah, thank you for sticking around to the very end of this video. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.